Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking the really complex science of protein signaling and transforming it into a highly actionable 7-day meal plan. And the best part? It triggers deep cellular repair without actually making you starve. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed standing in front of your open fridge, understanding the science of fasting but having absolutely no idea what to actually put on your plate, well, you're in the exact right place. We are literally taking Nobel Prize-winning biology out of the textbook and bringing it straight to your dining table. Let's get into it.
Okay, here's a quick look at our roadmap. We're going to cover the starvation myth, Phase 1, the reset, Phase 2, the peak, Phase 3, the bridge, Phase 4, the rebuild, and finally, how to track your results.
Section 1. The starvation myth, hacking your cellular signals. So do you actually have to starve for autophagy? Well, we're going to start by entirely reframing how you think about cellular cleanup. Seriously, put down that sad, miserable glass of water. Because the answer is a resounding no. Autophagy isn't triggered by an empty stomach at all. It's actually triggered by the absence of specific amino acid signals like methionine. For years, we've been told that to trigger your body's incredible self-cleaning process, you just have to suffer through days of nothing but sheer willpower and sparkling water. But the actual science of cellular signaling tells a completely different and frankly, way more empowering story. Here is the massive paradigm shift. Instead of enduring the absolute misery of traditional fasting, we're going to hack your biology using strategic, real, and satisfying foods that literally trick your body into thinking it's fasting. It's not about a lack of food, it's about a lack of specific molecules. If you know exactly which molecular signals to quiet down and precisely when to do it, you can smoothly guide your body into a deep state of cellular repair, all while eating delicious meals. To understand how we actually do this, we need to meet a couple of key players. First up is mTOR. I want you to think of mTOR as your body's construction crew. Whenever you eat proteins that are really high in methionine, things like beef, chicken, or eggs, that construction crew shows up ready to build. And here's the catch. When the construction crew is working, the cleaning entirely stops. mTOR essentially locks the door on autophagy. On the flip side, we have AMPK. Now this is your cleaning crew. Our ultimate goal is to activate this specific pathway so it can quiet down mTOR and throw wide open the doors to deep autophagy. It works like this. When AMPK goes up, mTOR goes down. It's just this beautiful biological seesaw. And the meal plan we're about to look at is designed to perfectly manipulate this exact seesaw.
Section 2. Phase 1. The reset. Halting the growth signal.
So looking at our timeline, days 1 and 2 are the reset. These days are specifically designed to send a biological signal to your body that the growth phase is over. We do this by keeping protein pretty low, under 10 grams per meal. Basically, we're intentionally starving that mTOR pathway of methionine and leucine. This alerts your cellular sensors that, hey, the environment has changed and it is time for a massive cleanup. Now, there is a highly specific biological intention behind every single ingredient on this menu. You'll be eating really vibrant, sensory-rich foods. Think wild blueberries, which are full of pterostilbene to directly activate AMPK. You'll be having crisp salads loaded with purple cabbage to fire up your NRF2 detox pathway. And for dinner, steamed asparagus, which is packed with spermidine to trigger autophagy entirely independent of the mTOR pathway. You see, you aren't just eating a salad here. You're feeding your body a precise chemical formula to switch on its repair genes.
Section 3. Phase 2. The peak, deepest cellular cleaning.
Okay, so by days 3 and 4, those growth signals have completely quieted down. You're in the peak phase. During this time, your cleaning crew is working absolute overtime, breaking down damaged proteins. So we need to support them strategically. We do this using black coffee and green tea, which are rich in EGCG, to really stimulate that AMPK. Now, if you feel true hunger, half an avocado provides clean fat that won't trigger mTOR. But most importantly, we use a savory, mineral-rich kombu broth to replace the crucial electrolytes you lose during cellular detox. Because, that awful fatigue people often feel during traditional fasting, it isn't some magical detox reaction, it's almost always just mineral depletion.
And here's something super important. How you cook your food matters just as much as the ingredients themselves. During this peak phase, steaming your dinner sweet potato instead of roasting it is absolutely critical because it preserves resistant starch. Why does that matter? Well, resistant starch actually feeds your gut bacteria so they can produce butyrate, and butyrate is a compound that directly regulates your autophagy genes right at the DNA level. If you were to roast that sweet potato at a high heat, you'd turn that starch into simple sugars, spike your insulin, and completely slam the brakes on the exact metabolic state you just spent 3 days building.
Section 4. Phase 3, the bridge, waking up the pathways.
Moving into day 5, we hit the crucial bridge phase. Think about it. You really can't have the cleaning crew and the construction crew working in the exact same room at the same time, right? To transition out of the fast without just violently slamming the autophagy door shut, we rely on a comforting, golden lentil soup. Check out this comparison. A typical whey protein shake has an 11% leucine content, which aggressively spikes mTOR. But lentils, they have an incredibly low 6% leucine content. This gently wakes up the mTOR pathway without completely overwhelming your system. It's just a really smooth biological baton pass.
So we pair this gentle lentil soup with a dinner featuring portobello mushrooms. These mushrooms are a game changer because they're rich in ergothioneine. That's an incredible antioxidant that perfectly targets and supports the very mitochondria you just spent the last 4 days rigorously cleaning. We're also tossing in some spinach to replace the massive amounts of folate and iron your body burned through while it was busy recycling all those old proteins.
Section 5, Phase 4, the rebuild, bringing in top-tier materials.
All right, now we reach days 6 and 7. Here, we're shifting our entire narrative from cellular cleaning over to robust construction. The junk has been entirely cleared out, the site is super clean, and it is finally time to build. Now, the absolute crucial point here is timing and quality. We start reintroducing high-quality animal proteins, but specifically during dinner. We're talking wild salmon and bok choy. Why dinner? Because muscle protein synthesis actually peaks while you sleep. We're giving your body the exact amino acids, the EPA, the DHA, and the vitamin C it needs to maximize muscle and collagen synthesis overnight. And then for breakfast, pasture-raised eggs. These deliver massive amounts of choline, which is the exact raw material your freshly scrubbed brain cells need to boost memory and cognitive processing speed.
Section 6, tracking your results, measuring the transformation.
Now, you shouldn't just guess if this biological hack is actually working. You really should objectively track it. We want hard data here, not just feelings. While you're definitely going to naturally feel those afternoon energy surges, and you'll lose that annoying brain fog and experience noticeably better sleep, you can definitively prove your success by tracking specific biomarkers. For instance, you could look at your IGF-1 levels before and after the 7-day cycle. Or, if you want to get really precise, you can utilize advanced functional medicine labs to track autophagy-specific proteins like Beclin-1 and LC3B.
But hey, if you just want immediate, accessible data right at home, the most crucial metric to measure during your peak phase is your glucose ketone index, or your GKI. Achieving a score of 3.0 or below confirms that you are in a deep, highly autophagy-favorable metabolic state. Let me tell you, it is just a profound feeling to see that number on the monitor and know for an absolute fact that your body is currently repairing itself right down at the microscopic level.
This 7-day protocol is incredibly powerful on its own. Really, it's a structured return to how human biology was originally designed to function in the first place. But it does leave us with a pretty fascinating final question for our next explainer. What kind of explosive, compounding results could you achieve if you perfectly synchronize this exact meal plan with your body's natural monthly hormonal rhythms? Just imagine combining the power of food signaling with your innate biological clock. It's wild to think about. I really can't wait to explore that with you next time. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you then.